All right, hello everyone. Happy Wednesday. This is Laura of Instructa, and today we are going to talk about healthy homes and home performance, specifically about water conservation in our houses, both indoors and outdoors. Last week we did a talk and it somehow didn't capture the audio, so I'm just going to go over some of what I mentioned then and just combine it with the outdoor water use that I was going to talk about today. So just some tips for indoor water for your home so you can make your water use more efficient. One of the biggest things is finding any water leaks that are in your home and making sure those are getting repaired. So if you have a leaky faucet or a running toilet, those are things that are small amounts of water that are over time contribute to, large water places where water is getting wasted in your home. So if I'm going to be likely doing a series of like homeowner repair type things, so talking about how to fix a leaky faucet and repairing a toilet and that kind of thing later. So stay tuned for those things. So there are things you can do on your own if you're comfortable with that. Otherwise, hiring a professional is always best practice. So, repairing any leaks that are in your system. So, and then checking your water heater to make sure your temperature is set to be right around 120 degrees. So sometimes I see water heaters set up to like 130 or 140 degrees, and so you're having to heat your water especially if you have a tank water heater, you're having to heat that whole tank of water up. And so if you turn it down a little bit, that can help your electric or your gas bill, depending on what type of water heater you have. So there's that. And then just doing things like when you're brushing your teeth, turning off the water when you're, in the middle of brushing your teeth and just using it when you're done, and taking shorter showers. Those kind of like habitual things that can be, can work on over time to adapt, can be useful. And then there's also different types of shower heads that use lower gallons per minute, and they still get a good flow because they mix the water with air, but that way they're able to use less water. Same thing with Faucet Aerators, which is like a little piece that you can add to your faucet to help it use less water. So again, it's mixing. That's why it's called an aerator. It's mixing water with air. So some of these faucets have them built in, but some of the older ones might not. So those are things you can get to and install to reduce your water usage at your faucets. And sometimes city water programs will give those type of things away for free. So you just check in with your local, like whoever your water provider is, and see if they have any water savings kits. So I know Portland Water Bureau has a program where you can get aerators and some other things, I think even light bulbs, to help reduce the usage in your home. So, I think those are the main indoor water tips. And then as far as outdoor water usage, so depending on what kind of landscaping you're maintaining, if you have a lawn and you want to have a green lawn all summer long, then, you're most likely going to be needing, depending on where you are in the country, you're going to probably need to be watering it to some degree. And so if you're choosing to do that, figuring out a sprinkler system that is going to, sort of not have to run a lot. So kind of like the minimal amount of run time for the lawn to look nice for you. And then making sure that spray is not overspraying onto hard paved areas like the street or your sidewalk or things or your house. So that's another like house durability issue. So anytime you have a sprinkler system, making sure that it's just operating where you want it to be operating. So then, you know, you might have a garden, so you can do things like installing like drip irrigation and using mulch over the top to help reduce the evaporation so that the soil is able to retain more of that water. And then if you are wanting to do sort of a low maintenance approach, it's always a good idea to use, for that approach, it's a good idea to use native plants that are adapted to the climate. So like where I live, it's dry in the summertime, so we have native wildflowers and plants that don't really require a lot of water because we just generally don't get a lot in the summer. So, you know, looking around what is growing naturally and selecting those types of plants and planting your yard that way, or parts of your yard, can help you reduce your water use. So yeah, what else? Again, yeah, look at if you have a garden hose, like you have a faucet coming from the outside of your house and you have a water hose connected to that, making sure you have your gaskets in place so that you're not getting any leaks there and that you're turning your water off. If you're hand watering, you're not just leaving the water, like the faucet, on all day, because, you know, potentially there could be little small leaks at the connections due to the pressure of the water. So yeah, I think that's it for today. So we'll be back next week with another topic. We've got a couple more weeks left of the series, and then I will probably be doing more just homeowner DIY, more specifically how to implement some of these measures in your home. So all right, hope everyone is doing all right with everything and taking care and being healthy and safe, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.